Hey, what's up guys, 0x here, and this is an update video just to explain why I haven't been posting any new videos or anything like that in a while. Robocraft is pretty much right now dead. I'm not going to be doing that series, not for a while at least. The Real Solar System series is, I'm going to leave the videos up, but I'm probably going to restart them. Because I found a new way that I like, and Bob Fitch on his channel, he does this too. So definitely go check him out. He does it with a series he's got called Project Gateway and Project Odyssey. He does the same thing, and I kind of like the idea. I think the idea is a little more, it's a better experience as far as I go, as somewhat of a, using game development and whatnot, using Unity and stuff like that. I like the whole being able to edit and create files and stuff, or parts and stuff like that. So the KSP modded series is what I called it, is what I'm going to call it, is going to be coming up soon. The first video. The only reason why it's not right now is because I'm doing a lot of part searching and a lot of tweaking to figure, get things working together and whatnot. So let me jump into my directory and explain this a little better. So inside my directory, as you see here, I have Kerbal Space Program, which is stock, so it has all the stock parts and everything. That's just straight out of the box Kerbal Space Program. Then I got my Kerbal Space Program modded. That's what's going to be the series. So as you see, it has all the mods that are going to be added to it. And then I also have the Real Solar System one, and then the part testing. And what the part testing is, and I totally recommend this for anybody who's wanting to try this and do the mods themselves, totally recommend this, is just make a copy of this. So you just, right click, copy, right click, paste, rename it to parts testing, and go into your squad here, go into your parts, and basically break it down to whatever parts you want. You can completely wipe out all the parts in there, and then wipe out all the spaces. Drop all your flags out to, well, that has flags in it. Flags don't really matter, but you can go in there and do the same thing with the NASA, delete all the parts. And what this does is it strips the game down to where you have nothing. And then you only have parts that you bring in. So it allows you to pretty much search through all the packs that come with the mod, take only the parts you want. So for example, if I go to my KSP download mods real quick, you can see that these are all the mods that I have, and the Ares Aerospace comes with a lot of mods that are in there. So what I did was I opened this up, I extracted one to my desktop, and then I put one into the actual parts folder, right? So then I put one into the actual parts folder right here. And then I go into the sandbox mode, and I go into the first folder, which is the antennas. And so I go and find those, and I search through all the antennas, and on the desktop folder, I delete only the antennas that I don't want. And I go through that and do that for every part. So then that way, when I jump into my actual Kerbal Space Program here, and I jump into the VAB, it's pretty much what you'll see what only parts I have from Ares, right? Which is this, and this is the part testing folder. So like I got to go in and clean it up to where I don't have the mechanical mech jab, because that's not even in there. I use this little thing, and I don't even use the stay pucknick either. Whatever. And so these are the only stuff that I have now. Ares part packs like this right here, these command pods, are not equipped to run with remote tech. So if you go to launch your vehicle using these, you can pretty much go anywhere in your solar system, and you don't even have to develop a remote tech satellite, because these will all be locally controlled. So what you have to do is you have to go into the file and tweak it. And now how you do that, which I'll show you real quick, is you go into the Notepad, Notepad++ or whatever program you want to use. You can even use Microsoft Visuals if you want, or not Visual, but whatever. And you just pick an antenna. So for instance, this one, right, at part short antenna 1. This is what comes with remote tech. And you grab this module, transmitter, this, and this module. And then you copy these, you go into the file, right? And then you go down to the most recent, like for instance here would be the last module on this, and you hit enter, enter, do a space, control V, and back that up to there, so control V. And then you can just come into here and tweak the range on it. So for instance, this range right here for the, which one are you, where are you, the PCF5 dish from the Aries comm dish, has a huge thing. I think it's like 30 GM, which I'm still trying to figure out the formula for this number and what it equals out into distance in Kerbin's solar system. But that's where you tweak that, and then like I said, you can add that transmit data if you want to, which will choose like how big a packet size can it send and how much of energy cost does it take to actually send a file to your thing. So if we jump to KSC, so if we jump back into KSP real quick and we go back through the Aries, now we have the Omni range, energy, and active by default. So this gives us all the different range. That satellite that you saw that came with it, and these are parts that I chose to keep. So here's my satellites that I chose to keep, and I just went and added the antenna to them so they actually communicate with remote tech and work. And then these are remote tech parts. I kept the Aries science parts. They're basically the same thing that the Gravioli and all that stuff that comes with Squad actually does. This just replaces it. So like Gravioli from Squad does gravity, this is the gravity meter. I like this better. I think these look more fancier, so I kept those parts. And then the Aries solar panel and whatnot. So you just go through your part pack and you choose what you want to do. So if I go and quickly, let's say launch this and go to here, whoop, go to here, add one fuel tank, and then add my other fuel tank, and then that fuel tank, boop, and then go to here and drop that onto there, grab remote tech, and just drop remote tech onto it, and let's check out my delta V stats real quick. 1.8. Let's add a little more feel to it, just to get it down to, come on, decent 1.7. And I'm trying to do this fast, so bring it to, there we go, 1.71. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and launch this real quick, and I'll show you. So if you were to do the same thing and grab this unmanned control pod from the Aries rocket, one thing that you'll notice is that it will say in the top left corner once this loads, do 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 do. Oh god, don't you dare. Okay, I was gonna say don't you dare crash on me. Delta V stats, I don't need that anymore. It would say appeared local control, but now if you notice it says connected. So now that means this part pack right here, or this piece right here, is now compatible with Remote Tech 2. So it will function just like a normal Remote Tech 2. So this works at 100,000 meters, is the highest it can go up to, or 100 kilometers. And I set MechJab to take me up to 105. So I'm going to go ahead and launch this real quick, and we'll get this up there so I can show you pretty much exactly what I am talking about. And then, so I have other mods that I've downloaded, such as the European Historical Pack, the Japanese Launch System, and FASA. Lays Tech SpaceX Industries are in there, so that way I have now the new SpaceX private company that's doing stuff, so the Falcon and all that. And what I'm going to do is go through and then pretty much start to create my, kind of my own system, my own setup. I'm going to take different rockets, engines from different pieces, bring them over into the part testing tool, tap on different parts, payloads on top, so like 1 ton, 2 ton, 5 ton, 7 ton, 8 ton, and drop those onto it and start testing the rocket sizes and rocket engines and getting them to work. Such as like this one, these guys right here, which are like my 1.25 meter, I think, or something, or 1.5 meter. These part packs, or these engine part packs right here, these primary launch systems, I want them to be able to, launch like communication satellites, mostly my satellite launch vehicles, and create different first stage lifters of those versions, so that way I can do different distance. So for instance, if I want to put communication satellites at a 500 kilometer distance to Kerbal, I can then have a launch stage that is designed to actually launch those engines up. So, or launch that satellite up to 100 kilometers. So the stage is right, things break out. Because I was thinking, as far as video quality goes, it's going to look a lot more cooler to actually see different things. I'm going to be working on doing a part here where when you come into here, you'll see that as my fuel starts to drop down in tanks and stuff, especially on the solid boosters, it will start to control the thrust, and the thrust will start to drop. So instead of being 200, it'll show me a percentage of how much thrust is there, and that's from the component space shuttle. That's where that's at. And so I'm going to take that over. I'm going to bring that module and that setup over into this part testing version and start adding them to all my solid boosters that I have. And so that way, they function a little more efficient, they work better. And then once that's all set up and done, it's going to be in career mode is where I'm going to do this. So once I have pretty much gone through all the parts, I'm satisfied with how many parts I have, what engine parts I got, and all that stuff, I'm going to just start the modded series, which will then basically be a career mode, and I'll start having to gather science and whatnot to do that, to unlock all the different parts that I have, and it'll just be a better experience, I think, out of Kerbal Space Program, rather than just running with the stock or adding a whole bunch of different mods. Because you got to remember that we only have a 4 gigabyte limit on a 32-bit version, and 64-bit's still kind of unstable. We're waiting for an update on that. So we don't have pretty much a infinite amount of room to take all my lace tech, habitat packs, engine parts, KW rocketry, FASA, and all that stuff, and add that into the game and then run it. It will eventually end up dying and whatnot. So, or crashing on me. Dying, crashing, same thing. So this is going to warp up. You can see that red at 105 kilometer, and what we're watching for is right there. Bam! See that? We have no connection. Why we don't have any connection? Because of the horizon. See, we've already gone too far out. Or actually, no, it's because of that. Alright, so I gotta go back in there and test it out. But you can see now that that works. So now MechJab can't do anything. I can't control nothing. I'm pressing W, S, A, and D and all that. So I can't control anything, and voila. Now it works. And if you didn't add, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. If you didn't add all this components in here, these two modules onto that component, you would have local controls. So you can infinitely go anywhere on an unmanned craft and it would work. So your communications relay system would just be pointless of putting that up, which is then why you even have remote tech. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going through all my parts, all my command pod parts, all and whatnot, and tweaking them out and getting them working. So the next bit I'm going to do is bring over the KW rocketry system into this. And how much time do I have? Oh, it's almost over. I'm almost at my 15-minute mark. All right. So I'll just end up going into my directory here and pulling out of the Ares, go into my modded folder here, which is where everything's at. Game data. KW Rocketry, copy it, right? Come over to here, go to my part testing, and I have my Aries. I'm going to leave Nova Punch in there for now, and then I'll just paste this in. And then what that's going to pretty much do is it's going to add all the engines from the KW Rocketry, because that's all I took from KW Rocketry was the engines, because I have procedural fairings. And then I'll bring all these over, and I will test them out, make sure the effects line up and then whatnot. And if the effects don't line up, then what I can do is just go into the part config file here, and let me jump to Notepad, and I gotta end the video, and I'll just scroll down to that's the scale. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Attach rules. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Where are you at? Module, multi-particle, emission, speed, engage, auto. Alright, well I gotta end it, but it's in here to where I can pretty much come in and start tweaking the effects and where the effects shoot from, and making sure that that lines up and that looks pretty, and everything from there. Just making sure things look pretty. So anyways, so that's the reason why. Like I said, this was an update video, so I will see you guys in part 1. If you're new to the channel and you're interested in seeing what the final outcome is and seeing the updates, hit like and subscribe, and until next time guys, I will see you then.